Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
Mind if I drop some hot stereo beats?
Oh, it just become a new, SoundCloud rapper.
Right. Yeah. This is my truth now. Thank you for understanding.
It's that or ASMR. You know? There's really only two paths that you've got.
Right. Yeah, whatever roles are just good at me really close up in there on the mic, you know what I mean? Just a real sexy, sensual style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the fate of having a microphone now, because if anyone got them over the holidays,
yeah,
you can't make another podcast. It's not allowed.
Right. We have a moratorium on them.
You either need to become a rapper or you need to join the ASMR space.
Yeah.
Sorry.
A real choose your own adventure. Yeah.
Right.
The two genders.
Sorry. It would be funny if, when you were unboxing your, your Yeti Blue microphone, it, was, flip to the podcast recommendations, flip to the ASMR recommendations.
Yeah.
That would be beautiful.
I would love that.
Yeah. Hello.
Yo.
Hello, friends. We're here. We're glad that you are here.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome. I don't even know how to start this other than to hand out awards to the two of us.
Okay.
And just say that we're right and we've always been right and we told you so.
Yeah, if y'all just let us do a victory lap for a quick moment and pat ourselves on the back, you know. We know that you know, but we kind of just want to bathe in it. You know what I mean? We're all on the same wavelength here. But
all I request for my parade is I would like the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Absolutely. That's a non-negotiable.
It's a non-negotiable, and if you can't get it, then the parade can't happen, and I would like Jinx Monsoon there. That's it. Everything else, I'm pretty much fine and flexible about.
I think those are beautiful and also pretty reasonable demands. I think we can make that happen.
This is my platform.
If we try hard enough. Yeah, I think that's doable. Because, for the Wienermobile, we just need to steal it from two kids that are gonna be fucking in it, because that's what they do when they do that program. That's what they do. If you read Raw Dog, Jamie Loftus, great book about hot dogs. That's their whole thing. That's what they do. And we just got to get in there. Be like, hey, so, this is for us.
No, hold on. Wait, I have questions. I thought that the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile traveled around the world for Make-A-Wish kids. But you're saying that they allow people to fuck in it if you pay enough?
Well, no, it's not. No.
Is it a
traveling
brothel?
No, it's a college program thing. So usually it's teens in colleges apply to be the Wienermobile people.
Oh my god, it's a Disney college program?
Something
for Oscar Mayer?
Yeah, something like that. It's some sort of internship thing, but it's usually a couple people or two people, and things happen. The Wienermobile's got a certain allure to it, I suppose, and shit happens.
Not Adventureland, but for Oscar.
Yeah. Could someone write that fan fiction of Adventureland, everything the same, but except it's in the Wienermobile?
Just in the traveling Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, so maybe not the fucking.
Well, we can clean it. You know what I mean? We can still don't let the dream die because a couple of teens doinked in there. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's true, because I guess if that was your non-negotiable, then everything on this planet would be not allowed.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so the Wienermobile stays.
Okay.
Jinx stays. All right. Anyways, we need a parade because we're right all the time.
Yeah, and thank you for allowing us to be right all the time and never, ever correcting us. Ever.
Right.
Because we've never
Except
needed
when
it.
we do about the Salvatore brothers' pronunciation.
Yeah.
And other important stuff.
Right.
I just want to say that, when we started this, we had a dream of communicating, one, that Cody did need to read the titular Twilight franchise, and also that I had a hyperfixation in a dream, and that this Mormon content was in fact gay, and I just love being right and having that be confirmed.
Absolutely.
So welcome into Twilight. When you write your reviews, just be like, oh my god, I love this podcast, it's always right.
Yeah, that's a perfect sample. Just copy paste.
Yep, just copy and paste. It's great.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm here. I'm vibing. Similarly to you, I am cold. Cause it'd be storming out here. It'd be there are some winter snowstorms happening.
Why it be like
you
that?
know, it's like, hey, listen, I have been complaining for the last several months because we haven't gotten snow, and this is what I get. You know, I deserve this. So,
Right.
But I love it. Looks pretty, except for the slush.
Does.
You know, that's okay. I had something else for my happy thing, but something did come up this week that I think it is more important to do.
Oh my god.
Have you heard of a little something? Let me take you to Chicago, right? Let me take you to a new Chicago possible cryptid icon legend deity that we have taken as our own.
I'm so scared.
Have you heard of the rat hole?
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, but like a little.
Yeah, okay.
Not a lot.
I love this for you. Okay, so if you are unfamiliar, this started going viral, at least on my neck of the woods on Twitter, of a photo of a just perfectly rat-shaped hole in the street in Chicago. And it's really been taking a whole life of its own, you know? People are like going people are going to pilgrimage to it. People have been throwing coins into the rat hole as like
not an offering.
like I think we have now like a like religious thing going on. I'm just gonna put some tweets of the rat hole in here because I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I have seen people that I like used to work with, or like just Chicago reporter people, being like, "Oh my god, I remember this because I found out like this looked familiar because I realized I took a photo of this like 5 years ago and put it on Facebook." Like this has been here forever, and I needed to be known. Chicago, incredibly rat-filled. So many rats. We got rats everywhere. Yeah. We are constantly and consistently number one. But that is also largely because we track them very, like, extensively, more so than other cities of this size. And we have very cool posters. They're like, hey, don't feed the rats. They're here. Please don't feed them. They're big and they will breed. Please don't do that. So there's a big city effort about the rats at any given moment. And this is very beautiful to me. It's very fun.
It is beautiful, I will
say.
The gas makes it almost like an art piece, I will say.
Yes, absolutely. And it's very strange to see like a very funny local thing not just be viral, because that's funny. I love that. I love that we're all loving the rat hole. But it's weird when it becomes like New York trend piecified. That's weird.
Right.
Kind of like, oh, what is this? And apparently this hole has been here for like a decade, probably. And now it's just a bunch of people taking selfies, putting coins, putting tinier statues of rats in there, pouring water into it to fill it up so it looks like it's like full and not a hole. It's really good. Some people have also said it might be a squirrel, ? But it is because like the nature of how it's been like smushed in there, or the print, I suppose. But nothing rolls off the tongue like rat hole. So this is really, it's beautiful.
Correct.
It's important. And maybe we're summoning a weird specter / cryptid / ghost into the city.
Yeah,
but
the
hey,
offerings
we're making out. The offerings are a little, I don't know. We need to be a little careful about those. But hey,
I don't know off the top of the dome which deities are connected to rats, but maybe not. But I do think that that's beautiful. I think that it shows community, and right now, any examples of that are helpful to my heart and spirit. It's just the little hands are really important.
That's so
to me.
good. They're so good. Like, you can tell, like, they were on a mission. They had somewhere to go.
Right.
And then, wet cement. You got stuck. Oh, that stinks, right? Like, ugh.
Oh, God. I did not realize. I just naturally assumed, given the nature of rats, that was in New York.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's in Chicago really does something for me.
Yeah, for the record, I need to just solidify our stay up in the ground for rat population, because we keep getting trunked, we keep getting overlooked, but we have been here. We are Rat City, baby. And now we have a shrine. It's embedded into our street's DNA.
Aw, I love it. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's keeps Chicago weird.
Yeah, so if you're in Chicago, it's on Roscoe Street. There are coordinates and addresses online. And go see the rat hole.
Pay homage to the
Go
rat.
see the rat hole.
Aw,
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
So that's my hyperfixation of the week. How are you doing, my dude?
I'm also cold. It is also snowy here, which I'm not. That doesn't happen very often in my neck of the woods. It's times like these where I remember that now 50% of the authors that we've covered live in my area. And it's just something about the snow I know is like setting off their creative energy, and that just scares me.
Yeah.
I don't like that personally. It makes me nervous. My happy thing this week is some rats, but not in more of fictional rats.
Okay.
I finally watched Daisy Jones and the Six.
Ooh. Okay.
And I wanted to bring this not only because it's 10 episodes of a very good television show,
Yeah.
but also because I can now with full confidence say that I could recognize Suki by voice and face.
Amazing.
And I'm proud.
Growth.
I'm proud to have that accomplishment.
Yeah. That's so important.
2024.
Yeah.
That I can look back to my 2023 self and say that that's no longer true.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
I have not. I know there's been a lot of hubbub about it.
There has.
And people love a Taylor Jenkins Reid situation.
Apparently.
Yeah, and I've heard the book is best consumed in audiobook because it's like produced similarly, like with music and stuff. Like it feels like I don't know, like a whole production. That's all I know. Like I know it's very Fleetwood Mac-y. I know it's very like
It
that
is.
vibe,
Yes.
but that's really all I know.
So I got a free trial of Amazon Prime before they switched to having like oops all
Yeah,
out.
right.
And so I'm a year late to the show. I don't give a fuck about that. But I did want to watch it while I have this like month without ads or paying for it. A couple of things about it. I would recommend watching it for a couple reasons. One is that it is based on Fleetwood Mac. I will say loosely. Yeah. So if you know a lot, about Fleetwood Mac, don't get your fucking hopes. It's like, it's there. The references are there, but it's not like one-to-one. It's very much like a creative interpretation.
Okay.
I would recommend watching it because of that, and I think that that's good. I would recommend watching it because Sam Claflin is just... That man needed to grow his hair out.
Yeah, for real.
It was a crime that someone told him to get veneers. I don't even want to fucking talk about it because veneers scare me. But he needed to grow his hair out, and he looks great. Everyone in this cast is hot, and it's rude. It's fucking disrespectful, but he looks great. The music that they did for this was produced and also made by Phoebe Bridgers and the Banjo Boys, aka Mumford and Sons.
Okay.
So they got like actual people to make this music
Right.
that was inspired by Fleetwood Mac.
All right.
So that's something to keep in mind. It is sung by Sam and Riley. Riley does a great job in this. It is good. It's got a lot of yearning, which I love. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a great time.
Hell yeah.
It's got some, I mean, there's obviously, like, they focus a lot on, like, they make it more love triangle-y, whereas Fleetwood Mac was obviously, like, everyone was fucking
Right.
each other.
There's a lot of
more
cross
interesting.
paths, yeah.
But I still thought it was good, and I do think that it's worth watching, given that they have swooped some awards for costumes, I think, so far this year. But it's good.
All right.
I liked it. I will say, if anyone hasn't watched it and they're thinking about it, if you have any issues with dependencies or alcohol or any sort of addiction, just, like, if you know Fleetwood Mac, like,
Yeah.
they don't shy away from it.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. Because I don't know that there's a way to tell a story about Fleetwood Mac in this time period without talking about that. But they don't fucking shy away from it. So just know that. But other than that, it's great.
Hell yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I am excited to watch.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth watching. And also there's, like, this really cute gay couple that I loved, and I wish that they had shown more.
Damn.
But, I mean, am I shocked? No. So, that's fine. Okay. We have two very important pieces of current events to talk about.
Yes, we do.
The first one, I could spend a lot of time talking about it, but I'm not going to. Mainly because they didn't send this for our consideration.
Yeah.
So, this past week, ColourPop dropped a Twilight collection. First of all, why didn't... Hello? We're a fucking Twilight podcast. It's fine.
It's okay. I guess, we were available, but whatever.
We were available. Like, you could have asked us, but it's fine. It's the marketing, good. Packaging, good. Product, not great.
Yeah. It's not looking very good. It's giving cash grab.
And am I surprised? No, because that's ColourPop now, right? Like, they have self-described themselves as the fast fashion of makeup, which is, I mean, self-aware, but also
right. Right.
Is it very aligned to the first movie? Yes. Do I think that they could have done a lot better? Yes.
Yeah.
It feels, and there's some people that enjoy it. Great, love that for you. It feels a lot like they already had these products made. And then someone came to them and was like, we should do a Twilight collection. And they were like, great.
Great, we don't have to do any more work. We already have these things that have been sitting around ready to go.
The fact that, because again, and I will say the packaging looks great, but the fact that you are going to drop some of the other, like, lips and the highlighter things look fine.
Yeah.
But you're gonna drop an eye palette, and you're not gonna have an amber for Edward's eyes. You're not gonna have a red.
The no red is wild to me. Wild.
Like, it's all cool, right?
Yeah.
And I understand why, right? But that's cool eyes do not, such a specific demo of people that's going to look good on. You're not going to have any sort of warmth in there to even, like, hint at Jacob.
Right.
Hello. It's just embarrassing and disappointing. And I've also already seen, I think it dropped on Friday when we're recording this, there were already people that were reselling it.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just...
Did it like sell out immediately?
Oh yeah.
Gosh.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yikes.
So in my dreams, and again, I don't think that this needed to be done in the first place, but what I would love to see is like thoughtfulness of Huda Beauty.
Yes. Oh my
Or
god.
thoughtfulness of like, or even something that I would actually use quality wise would be like Pat McGrath.
Yeah.
Because that I know would actually have longevity. But they don't do collections for every fucking thing under the sun. So.
Yeah. I will say, like, oh my god, I'm looking at like the inside of this palette, and this, like where they have them laying in the meadow with this like wild font text on it with the love and the lamp.
That's the thing, like the packaging, I don't have complaints about.
It's also so good because, you know, the just on a like making a product level or like a collaboration product, I suppose. It's very funny because, you know, the beautiful words of Stephanie Meyer leave a lot of adjectives and phrases that I honestly are kind of slay for like a color of a makeup thing. Like, it's like, okay, this is called impossibly fast, hilarious. This is called irrevocably hilarious. 17, hilarious. Like, irresistible.
But like, you're not gonna even do something with a little bit of pink for like strawberry champagne.
Like this feels so.
Or like the beige skirt. Like you can do deep cuts here.
Yeah, there's so many, and I
like
get
the rust of her car. Like embarrassing.
There are
embarrassing.
8 shimmers in here, and like I get it, but like, come on now. The fact there's not a single red outside of this lip thing is bonkers. Maybe an eyeliner. Is that a red eyeliner? But like, this doesn't make practical sense.
It doesn't.
The shimmer like body thing is funny because like, duh.
It is funny.
But like, I don't.
But you can't wear all of it together.
No, it feels like a lot of these combos don't make any sense together. Like you need to use this with another thing. This is not a like fully contained thing.
It makes me want to throw my head against a wall.
Yeah. Like, what?
And that's unfortunate because it could be a lot better.
Yeah. Well. So,
am I surprised? No, but I am disappointed.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate.
Womp womp.
Literally. The pièce de résistance.
Ho ho ho.
I would love for you to tell us a little bit more about this huge variety piece.
Oh my god, where do we even begin? There's so much here. Okay, we finally it feels like it's been a minute since we've got like a girthy Case 2 profile. I would imagine since Spencer, right? Like, because that's like kind of the biggest thing. And even there was like a lot of more like video stuff or like whatever. This is like proper variety. Thank you to Adam B. Very and the whole team, because there's
Adam, thank you.
Yeah, for a lot of different cross platform stuff. So I'm sure there's a whole team behind it. Thank you to all of you. With this huge, just like full retrospective of her work and her life and beautiful photos. I think it's interesting. It starts with chronology of water, which is something we've been like talking about on and off a little bit. And she's like, I'm fucking pissed, man. Nobody's able to fucking finance this movie, and I'm gonna boycott making movies until someone can give me money for this. Good. Yeah, which like hell yeah. I want to see director Case 2. God damn it.
The variety team, because this is all in promo for Sundance, which we know she's getting an award, and she's also debuting 2 films, Love Lies Bleeding and then Love Me.
Oh yeah.
Which they talk about a little bit in here, because that one they're kind of like putting up for distribution in here. Yeah. So this is all like Case 2 Sundance, because they do this piece, which is very lengthy. Thank you, Adam. They have a ton of different like cover photos, and then there's also the promo video that Variety did of her talking about like can you remember these lines?
So good, where she like basically impersonates herself to like get into the headspace. Incredible.
Which was so meta, but also showcases, one, how long she's been in the business.
Yeah.
And what a strong actor she is. Because it was like, oh, I need to like pretend to be myself here to remember this line. And I was watching that, jaw dropped, like, whoa. I've never gotten to see you, because like there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that all the Twilight DVDs have, but I've never seen her like get into character like that before. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But the fact that there's someone like Kristen who's been in the business so long, she is a nepo baby, and is having to have this much difficulty to the point where she's like, I don't give a fuck what my agents say. I'm not going to act in anything else until I get the financing to direct the chronology of water, says not only a lot about the industry right now, which we've seen with some of the strikes that happened last year and some of the contracts that we're still seeing, but also if a white woman is having this problem, what the fuck does that say about all of the other issues that we're not seeing here as well?
Right. Because that was even a thing with, like, you know, think of Priscilla, right? And Sofia Coppola being like, I could not get, it was very hard to get financing for this movie. And it's like, Sofia Coppola? It's hard for Sofia Coppola? Like, imagine what it is when it's like, not white women who are also nepo babies / connected in some way regard, or like highly regard in their fields. Like, what?
And you would think, like, I recognize, based on what we have talked about here, and also the amount that I was able to learn over this past year with the strikes, that indies are hard to justify filming for. But like the chronology of water, based on everything that we learn in this piece that K-Stu talks about, and what we've learned in the past, is an awards darling. Like, it was whatever distribution like picks it up, even if it's not going to generate necessarily like box office success, whatever the fuck that means. Like, we've seen with K-Stu's past couple of projects that she is an award, like she's going to get awards for her most recent stuff. And so the fact that people are not like pushing each other in line to get her stuff shocks me. But also it does, you know, like it doesn't, but it's like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? Ugh, it pisses me off. Every part of this piece I was like highlighting everything. I loved it. And I think that it not only is very telling of like where Kristen is now, of just like, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna say everything, but I think it also is very telling of Adam, to like the rapport that was being built in this interview, that she was comfortable communicating a lot of this, which I thought was beautiful. Yeah.
God, they're so
I was not expecting, because I saw this promoed on TikTok, which I was going to read this anyways, but I wasn't expecting that they got Clea and Jody, and I think also Rose, to come in and talk about her as well. And I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it is like this is a like dream blend rotation of lesbians who are talking about how good K-Stu is, and I love it. Like, I love too, there's a moment where he talks to Jodie Foster, I think, about Kristen Stewart's SNL monologue kind of thing, and she's like, oh my god, I didn't even know she did that. That's so funny. Like, what a cool way to like
Jodie, where have you
come
been?
out. Yeah, also, where you didn't see Totino's, you didn't see
Jodie, you need to go back and watch. That was a really important SNL episode.
We gotta go back, Jodie, come on. But incredibly,
you don't even need to watch it on Peacock, just go on YouTube.
Yeah, it's there, it's all there.
If I was Adam, I would have stopped the interview and be like, can I just show this to you on my phone really quick? Like, you need to see, this is really important.
Yeah.
You'll love this. I was shocked about that, that she didn't know. But also, like, I don't know, something about that doesn't surprise me. I feel like a part of me just thinks Jodie Foster does live in a panic room. Yeah. So
Literally.
that something about that just makes so much sense to me. I was not expecting them to talk about the fucking 2017 director Snow White stuff. Like, but the fact that that happened, I was surprised, personally. I think that it was, and I also didn't remember when they were talking with Jodie that Jodie did that op-ed.
I completely forgot about that too.
Fucking leave her alone. Like, she's 20 years old. Shit happens.
Yeah.
And also, you know, like, I didn't recognize it then, but I do now. Like, there was a huge power dynamic that was happening there.
Yeah.
We all just, like, chill.
Right.
Leave her alone.
God. Queen Jodie Foster. Mother.
Listen, she's been saying some weird shit about Gen Z lately.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
But just don't ask her about that. Just keep asking her about Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, that's
and that's all that matters
right.
to me.
It's perfect.
I think it's great. The amount that K-Stu, and Adam even wrote this, like, audibly and visibly lit up talking about Lou from Love Lies Bleeding got me so hyped.
Yeah, I'm so fucking
for this movie. I'm gonna pass out.
It's so funny too, because like it happens in kind of conversation with both of the films, because it's like, okay, the one with Steven Yeun is like, she was talking about how it's very binary feeling and being like, oh my god, gender biology, is this real? Am I like doubting heterosexual woman? And I think that's just the charm of Steven Yeun. I think he just does that to people, you know what I mean? So, and then like immediately after it's like, okay, well then Love Lies Bleeding, it's okay, I'm very excited, and like the whole energy of the conversation just like totally switches, and she's so like giddy and like hot for it. I love it. It's very good.
I think something that really stood out to me about this piece is because of the fact that it's a retrospective on not every movie that she's done, but quite a few of them, it naturally asks her to think about, and she mentioned this a couple of times about like how people had clocked her growing up, and there's a moment earlier on when she was like, well, people had said like, oh, I knew you were queer the whole time, and I've seen some people like pull this quote specifically and start to take it apart on social media of her saying like, oh, well, if you thought I was queer the whole time, then you should have seen me when I was like fucking my first boyfriend. What I think is missing from that context is the part where she's watching Panic Room at the end and realizing like, oh, I just wasn't seeing it
right
there. Because naturally, like, I would imagine that watching films of yourself is really awkward. I know some actors have talked about that they do it, but some don't, and naturally, like, that is a very personal decision.
Yeah.
But when she does it, she's able to be like, oh, I'm very obviously gay. Like, right. This is so obvious. And I think that maybe it was a little bit easier because she's acting next to Jodie Foster, and so it's like, oh, like, we're both queer here. But I feel like that first quote, people are pulling it apart, not realizing, like, some of that defensiveness, I feel like, is natural early on in some people's journeys. Like, I remember myself, I was like, well, that can't be true. Right. And it's like, first of all, just let her live. She's still, like, figuring shit out. And also, you know, listen, I think that it needs some of that necessary context to realize, like, I think that it was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
The point that we were saying at the very beginning of us being right the whole time is when I saw this on Twitter this week, it felt like a spotlight came down on me. And it was was like, you are the chosen one.
Yeah. Please collect $200 and pass go.
Right. I never expected this to happen. Never in my life. I just, in the variety video, she fully references Twilight, and she's like, I fucking hate this. Like, I hate hearing the name Bella.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect her to talk about it in the article itself. And so for her to talk about the fact that what we've been saying this whole time, that it's gay, I was shocked.
Right.
And for her to say what we've been saying about, like, every piece of vampire literature that we've been talking about, of, like, it is about oppression.
Right.
It's about wanting something that's going to destroy you. It's gothic.
Right.
It's queer.
That's gay, baby.
That's exactly what we're saying. Yeah. She gets it.
Case 2, please. Please. I know you're busy. I know you got things going on.
I know you have a lot of stuff going on with Sundance. Right
but,
now.
like, we have so much to talk about. I think we'd really have a good time.
And I'm going to be honest with you, Kristen. If you even have a non-negotiable where you're like, I don't even want to fucking talk about Twilight. Great. Love you. That's great. I would do anything to talk about Love, Lies, Bleeding.
Yeah.
Great. Perfect. Great. Let's talk about it. Because I know that movie's coming out in March, so let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
I just think that that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So, this piece is, I highly recommend reading it.
There's a lot of gems.
Even better, one of my favorite things that Variety does, you can listen to the article.
Hell yeah.
Wish more places did that. It's beautiful. It's great. Thank you.
We love accessibility, baby.
We love it when you look at words and you're like, no.
What if?
Not today.
Yeah.
It's great. Thank you, Adam. Thank you for Variety Team. You're beautiful.
You crushed it.
I appreciate you. I love being right. Last week, we had season 1, episode 14, Fool Me Once.
Ooh.
It was sad.
Yeah.
There was a lot happening. Jeremy got a concussion. The tomb opened. And things didn't go well. A couple people died. Rip Ben. Rip Grams. Just like almost 150 years of Damon's life led up to this moment, and Catherine wasn't in the tomb. Rip.
Yeah, yikes. Rip to Damon's dreams. His one purpose in life.
all of Damon's dreams, which is not great, and that's not good. Also, the tomb wasn't closed.
Yeah, so that's not great.
So,
I think we kind of left that episode with everything going wrong at once.
Everything went wrong.
Everything that could have gone wrong did.
Everything was not great last episode. And in a shocking turn of events, this episode, season 1, episode 15, A Few Good Men, everything is also not great.
Right. Things are continuing to deteriorate a little bit.
Yeah. Here's my feedback to the writers of a show that's been done for many years now.
Yeah.
I'm not okay when Bonnie is not in an episode, but I recognize that is going to happen.
Right.
Based on just the amount that I'm aware of the trajectory of the show. What I will not stand for is when you don't give me Bonnie and you also don't give me Jeremy.
Yeah. We gotta have one, right? Gotta have one.
And you decide oh, I know. Hey, hear me out. Hear me out. You're not going to get Bonnie and you're also not going to get Jeremy, but you're going to get Matt and Caroline making out. So how's that trade?
Thank God. That's really what I needed here.
And that's not a trade.
No.
That's like getting a really shitty trade of when you're at the lunch table with your friends in elementary school and it's here's a PB&J and you trade that for Gushers.
Right.
Why would you ever trade your gushers?
Yeah, these are not the same value here.
No.
I don't want to watch Matt's mom walking in on them and making out on the couch.
Yeah, I don't want to watch Matt, who we already knew was like a parentified, almost 18-year-old.
Right.
I don't want to actually watch that happen. I knew it was bad.
Right. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, though. I kind of get that they're doing their side plot thing and they're just going to do that. I don't need to see it. Like, I know it's just happening in the background. It's also not very interesting.
Right. No, it's not. Don't dedicate, like, 6 minutes of a 42-minute episode to this.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Priorities are way off, you guys.
And you just, like, you throw in for 5 seconds of dialogue that Elena was at a funeral for Grams.
Right.
Eat shit.
Come on now.
Also, by the way, friends, Grams, the actress, won a Golden Globes last week.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So, we miss her dearly.
Rip.
She's great. I think it was like her first Golden Globes, which is wild. That woman's been in the business for forever.
Yeah.
I fully forgot about, so his name's Harper, the Civil War dude.
Yeah.
They dropped that dude in at like beginning, middle, and end of this episode. Each time they did, I fully forgot.
Yeah, I was like, who is this man? Am I supposed to know who this man is? Uh-oh. Yes I am.
And it is not shade to the actor.
No.
Or the character. The character, weirdly, the Civil War soldier, seems nice. Weirdly.
Yeah, out of character, but yeah, sure.
He seems like he has manners and seems kind, which is odd. But each time I was like, who the fuck is this dude?
Yeah, you can tell in my notes where he pops up because I keep referring to him as this guy instead of his name because I kept forgetting who he was.
Because there's like 18 things happening this episode.
Right, there's a lot going on.
But each time I was like, why is this man making weird-ass eye contact with this woman in the town square? Hello?
Yeah.
But, I mean, okay, thanks, Harper.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This seems really disorienting to you. I also would have thrown something that was ringing in my pocket.
Right, I'd be so confused. I'm like, what is this evil device?
Yeah, why is it screaming?
Right.
You know?
This is a witch.
Right. Yeah, I thought that, I was kind of rooting for him when he was like, I'm sorry that I have to kill you. I'm not used to seeing that with a vampire,
Yeah.
Listen. I mean, where do you fucking want to start? Do you want to start with Trudy? That's a real name.
That's so good. It's so fucking choice.
Do you want to start with Trudy, or do you want to start with Mr. I'm dealing with stuff in like a really good way? I'm really coping.
Like, I'm actually doing so well, thank you. Let's start with Trudy. Trudy Peterson.
Okay. A real person.
Because a real human woman. Allegedly. It starts because Elena's like, hey, Jenna, I need to figure out what the fuck is going on with my mom, real mom. I know you know something. Can you give me tea? Can you give me information? And Jenna's like,
shocking.
Yeah, right.
Jenna was useful this episode.
And Jenna's like, okay, well, I have this cool dusty yearbook. And there's a friend of hers who lives nearby, real name Trudy, for sure. Definitely a real name. And also, weird coinky dink, probably not related. Rick's wife's name was Isabel. Totally unrelated. But that doesn't need...
Do you want to see all these dusty journals that your dad has of HIPAA violations?
Right.
Let's
just go down memory lane.
Is that allowed? Hey, do we have any doctors in chat? Is it allowed to keep records, like personal journals of every patient that you've interacted with? Because I think no.
I think that's against... I don't think you can own them. You can have them, right? Like, that's not something you should have.
I thought that was supposed to go in, like, fucking My Chart or Epic or something.
Right.
I don't think you're supposed to keep fucking bullet journal of like, today on January 19th, 1986, I interacted with Trudy.
Right.
I delivered her best friend's baby. What?
Huh?
Is that allowed?
Right. Also seems very specific. I would love to if,
Right.
like, what if that was, like, the only actual piece of information there and the rest of it was just, like, shit-talking patients. It was like, this lady came in, she was a huge bitch. Like, just so mean to me. Just all, like, little diary stuff.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Like,
What if it's just a
Meredith
gossip,
Grey.
you know? Yeah, right.
So, like, Meredith Grey's mom kept journals.
Yeah.
But they were, like, personal journals. They weren't, like, every patient that she had. It was just, like, all these personal journals about how she was, like, fucking in the hospital.
Right.
And having an affair.
Sure.
Is that allowed? Like,
Yeah, if it's, like, personalized
someone in chat
enough,
tell us-
if it's more of, like, a diary situation, is it cool? Is it a HIPAA violation?
yeah, are you allowed to, like, keep a journal as a doctor if it doesn't talk about patients? And you can just talk about, like, all the weird shit that happens as a doctor? Because I, honest to God, don't know, and I also don't want to Google it.
It's like, Your Honor, it wasn't a violation. It was just, I was talking about the drama. I was just keeping myself informed for the future of all the drama that's happening.
Yeah, Heather's just a bitch, and she doesn't have the cool, like, giblets on her cross
Right.
that everyone else had. What are those called? I honestly don't remember. Are they gibbets?
They are gibbets. Yeah, you're correct. But giblets is very fun.
Yeah, she had weird pork guts on her Crocs, and that's like a crime.
Yeah,
I'm
this
pretty
is
sure.
a hospital. There's
It's supposed to be a sterile.
yeah,
environment.
incredibly sterile. What happened? That's not safe.
You can't just. That's not safe. So Trudy,
Trudy.
love this woman. It's like, so we know it's fully winter,
Yeah.
right? Because Elena's sitting outside and Jenna's like, hey, it's cold. But it's daylight when she goes to see Trudy.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if it's school or not, but it's somehow daylight. Sure, great. Cool.
Right.
And Trudy does not invite Elena in.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Elena kicks down the door. Though that would be fucking hilarious.
Right. It's like, tell me about my mom.
She's just like, the kitchen's this way. And then Trudy, like, bug-eye stares at the threshold.
Right. It's
when
like,
Elena walks
ooh,
in.
can she walk in?
I don't know why she assumed that Elena was a vampire, but that's... Maybe you just gotta always be on your toes, you know?
Yeah. And if that wasn't enough, she's like, let me whip up some sweet, sweet vervain tea for you. Just to be triple sure.
Now I really want to know what it tastes like.
Right? Like,
Because Elena could spot it immediately.
surely it's clockable. Because, like, it seems like there must be a certain, like, pungency to it. Because even when, I forget his name, but the other sibling / relative of Damon and Stefan, whose house they were squatting
the
in.
uncle?
Yeah, the uncle. When he was growing vervain, it did look like weed, right? Like, it did have this
It
sort of,
looked
like,
so
big
much
plant
like weed.
field situation going on. So surely there's some sort of odor or taste to it
Right.
that is pretty distinct.
But now this draws a lot of concern for me. Because when a couple episodes back, when Giuseppe was giving Stefan what he thought was like whiskey
Right.
or whatever, why did Stefan think whiskey tastes like weed?
Right.
What's up with that? Because I've smelled brown liquor before.
Right.
And I've also smelled, because I've worked with teenagers and I've also lived on a college campus before, I've smelled weed.
You've smelled a weed? Yeah.
I've smelled a weed. Those two smell so different.
Very different. That'd be so funny and, like, would change everything if, like, just by the nature of vervain being somewhat in this society, that, like, nobody knows what things properly taste like, right? Like, their taste buds are probably so fucked. Like, I can't even imagine if they went to another version of the Vampire Bar and Grill that wasn't a Vampire Bar and Grill, like a regular-ass bar that wasn't fucking with
Right.
vervain or vampires. Just on another road trip, they were like, ew, what is this? This tastes like shit. It's like, You guys have been fooled your whole lives to thinking something tastes a certain way or smells a certain way. But it's all fucked.
Yeah, because, I mean, this just begs the question, like, how much of this population is theoretically laced with weed?
Right.
Because we know so much of their police department is.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the council's kids are.
Right.
And I guess we don't know, is it weed? Like, is it, because I know there's two types. There's the kind that people take for pain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's, wow, I'm such a fucking loser.
How many types of weed are there?
There's the, like, THC.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And then there's also the, like, cannabis
Mm-hmm.
or whatever the fuck. So do you think that they're, like, tripping balls, or do you think that they just, like, don't have joint aches?
Yeah, maybe maybe it's a CBD situation. They're like, oh yeah, I'm so relaxed, I'm so smooth. I don't know. Let us know if you're a weed scientist and a vampire scholar. Hit us up.
There's got to be some
There's one of you. There's someone out there that it's a Venn diagram of those two things.
There's got to.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to know.
Yeah.
But I do think that it does beg the question though that Elena like immediately clocks it, right?
Yeah.
When Trudy's like, "Oh yeah, I haven't seen Isabel since she had the kid like 17 years ago."
Mm-hmm.
The kid that's like probably you statistically. By the way, I am just gonna like really subtly text someone. She's here.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it though. It's like no big deal.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. She kind of like fucked off in Florida for a little bit. Tried to like help with the electoral college in 2000 or whatever. I don't know. And then she went to Duke, and that's the last time I saw her. So I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, girl. Can't help you.
Sorry, girl. I can't help you. And Elena was like, so this tastes like vervain. Also, you didn't invite me in. You just, like, watched me walk in.
Yeah.
So you know about vampires. And Trudy's like, I've literally never heard that word before. Mm-hmm. That's weird. I don't know what vampires are, but you should probs go.
Yeah. You should get out of here.
And
whoopsie.
Then, literally the scariest part of this episode. Well, no.
This man.
The second scariest part of this episode was this random dude just shows up in the street.
Yeah.
And it's still broad daylight, mind you.
Right.
But this random dude just shows up in the street, and Elena's like, that's weird. Just gonna go now.
Yeah. I'm gonna just pocket that for later. Let's not worry about that right now.
This random dude is a human, and he's the scariest thing I've seen in these 15 episodes.
Right, yeah. He has more threatening auras than any of the vampires thus far.
He's, like, up there for me with, I think it was Ben, maybe, who was, like, up on the ceiling trying to get a lady.
Oh, yeah. Right, just slithering around up there. Yeah.
I hate this guy. I don't like him. And then Trudy dies because she's a woman. So, which is rude because she did the thing that they were asking her to. She didn't say anything about vampires. She didn't say anything to Elena. And he was still like, you gotta go. Goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Whoops.
But this dude, we find out later, is working for Isabel.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom. Elena's mom.
Yeah. AKA Jenny from the L Word, which every time is a jump scare.
The amount of people that they pull from this is
it's
shocking.
Bananas. This is like the Avengers of C tier, like actors of this time, and it is very important.
But you know they're getting residuals
Absolutely.
at this time, though.
Absolutely, and good for them.
So I'm proud of them.
Good for them.
So I love that for them. But this dude shows up one more time. He shows up at the grill at the end of this episode. After the dude raffle, the bachelor raffle.
Mm-hmm.
And is like, so I need you to back off.
Right.
Just like stop.
You're doing too much.
Stop looking for your mom.
Yeah.
You need to back off. And Elaine's like, okay.
Right.
Got you.
Also confusing because I thought she was dead. So this is new information for me.
seems weird that you would say that, because Toads thought she was dead, but okay,
Right.
cool.
I wasn't really looking
then,
because she's dead, unless now I could look if you want. Now I kind of I'm thinking about looking now. It's not really convincing.
I had stopped,
right.
But now
now I'm back on, baby. You got me on the case. You could have said nothing and it would have been fine. I wouldn't have done anything.
Scariest part of this episode. Homeboy says, "I'm done."
Yup.
And steps into fucking traffic.
Yeah. With a quickness, mind you.
I have never been so scared on this show.
Yeah. So that was terrifying.
But you know what? Elena was like, "I told you I was done, but I'm going to grab your cell phone, so fuck you."
Right. What are you going to do? Stop me?
You're dead.
You just got run over by a big truck.
God. Hate that. Hate that. Don't like it. I don't like it. So there are two very important parts of this episode. Mm-hmm. There's Rick and the raffle.
Uh-huh.
Rick's raffle.
Right. Rick's raffle TMs.
And there's Damon.
Oh, God. Damon is, as we predicted, having a bit of a midlife crisis.
Rick joining the raffle is not as important. He's important for being there because it's part of Damon's story.
Right.
To be fair, all of Rick is part of Damon's story.
Right.
So.
Yes, they're very connected.
But I need to talk to you. I need to hear everything about your thoughts about Damon this episode because that is like the bulk of my notes.
He is. I regret to inform everyone that Damon is in fact baby girl. I don't want to say it. I don't want it to be true.
But it is.
But
true.
it's true. I'm sorry. So Damon's is pretty fucked up right now, naturally, because love his life fucking dipped. He's been chasing her for 140 years. And she was actually like, "No, I've been good the whole time. I just don't like you." So that's like a lot, That's like a lot to deal with. And so naturally, he's like, we'll fix this. 7 women available at all times in my home.
His unfortunately, self-destructing Damon is very good for me.
It's so good. Listen, it does something, He's so sad. He's so helpless. And he's going to his vices,
Him looking at Stefan straight in the face and calling him Buzzkill Bob was
so good.
did everything for me. Yeah, actually.
It's also, mind you, this is the timing of this is also hilarious because it is bright. It is bright and early right now. It is midday.
8 a.m.
Yeah,
probably.
it is.
I don't know.
There is sun is shining, right, and it seems early. And Damon's out here sucking and fucking. He's got a gaggle of women, just like in the living room.
Who knows where?
Yeah, and Stefan comes in and is like, "What the fuck is happening?" Like, buddy, you need to figure your shit out. And Damon doesn't even stop caressing this woman. She's still just vibing, chilling in his grasp. And he's like, "Buzzkill Bob, can you let me do my thing? Can you let me freak my shit for a little bit? God, I'm kind of going through something."
This is both of our homes.
Right. I thought this was the communal space.
And here's my community, so what do you want?
Right. It's pretty rude of you to interrupt me in the morning when I'm using the living room for my sexual deviancy. God damn.
I was not what I was not anticipating this episode was I'm on a quest, Elena, and Devil May Care Damon getting together. Mm-hmm. And there's a part where Damon is getting ready for the raffle because he's already gone to the grill. And fucking Tyler Lockwood's mom, who's like horny for anything that walks, is like, oh my god, you have to join the raffle. And he's like, totes, babe.
Sure. Anything for the community.
I'm just, yeah, that's me. Super helpful. And Damon is like off his ass on alcohol and can't even like do up the buttons on this really cute black shirt that he's wearing.
Yeah.
And Elena is helping him with this while trying to explain about like trying to go find her mom. And Elena, while doing this, Damon says about Isabel, her mom, she left you, she sucks. And Elena looks up at Damon at this point, and it is so clear that she is looking at Damon's lips when we see Stefan come through in the side, like blurry in the background.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Excuse me?
I'm sorry. And it's also not helpful that this is like the second time in the show where Damon says, where's our girlfriend? Like, I fucking, this dude. I can't with this dude. I'm so done with him. God. He pisses me
and
off.
like Elena claps back and is like, oh, you mean the one you killed? Think about that. Sit and think with that. Okay.
That part in the grill, because him and Rick, so he asks the sheriff to do some background on Rick.
Yeah.
And so he finds out all this information like just before he goes up and does the raffle thing, and is being just a total asshole to Rick during this time. Of being like, oh yeah, like I remember being at Duke with your wife, like she's delicious, and all this like really like objectively creepy stuff that's not entertaining to a crowd.
And he like takes his time with it too, like because everyone's just like, hi, my name is Bert, I live here, I love hiking and you know like long walks on the beach, you know, like that's everyone's like that's their little bit. And then it comes to Damon and it's like, oh, hey, bestie, you didn't write anything on your card. He's like, okay, well, let me tell you a story. And he just goes on this, like, diatribe monologue. It's like, this is supposed to be an auction.
About someone else's, like,
right.
perceived missing wife. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's so weird.
And it's like, hey, that's so funny. Totally, let's bring everyone else into this conversation. Your wife was really hot, and I remember hanging out with her a lot, and she was really tasty and delicious. So good job. You did a great job with that one. Anyway, happy auction, everybody. It's like, buddy.
So naturally, Rick is like, fuck this dude.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
And Stefan is like, my fucking brother, right? Not realizing, because he still doesn't know the connection to Elena.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So Elena's like, God fucking damn it, Damon.
This motherfucker. Shitting in my cornflakes.
I can't fucking
trying to conduct an investigation over here, but...
Exactly. After Stefan had directly told Rick and Elena to just, like, stop. Like, you gotta chill. Like, I need a little bit more information, right? And so that confrontation that the two of them have in the grill afterwards, where Elena's like, you fucking asshole. You were talking about my mom. And his face, like, drops. I am so done with them. I'm so done.
Yeah.
It's the most concern. Stefan doesn't care. Never cared. Doesn't care. Like, none. Damon, though, this is the first time we've seen actual emotion from this dude all episode.
Yep.
Can't stand him. So done with him. And, like, we've been getting a little bit of flashbacks about Isabel this whole time, that, like, she, very similarly to Jeremy, is like, I'm going to do investigations about Mystic Falls. This place sounds cool as shit. There's obviously vampires here. Whereas Rick's like, can you just stop and go to sleep for once in your life?
Right.
And it culminates at the end of this episode where Rick dies. Because he made the he made a mistake,
right,
being like, I'm going to come to Damon's home base. and be like, how dare you talk about my
wife.
Dead wife. But Damon doesn't give a flying fuck, and he's like, listen.
Yeah, because he's also like, your wife actually wanted this. She was begging for it. She wanted me to turn her, and also she kind of hated you, dude. So it's not my fucking problem.
Yeah, you were super boring.
Yeah, you seem like you guys were not vibing very well, and I have incredible sex appeal, and she's obviously obsessed with vampires in a way that you were like, no, babe. Like, haha, I'll get garlic.
That was the sickest burn I've ever heard of him being like, I only slept with her because I liked her.
Right.
But I changed her.
Uh-huh.
Because she begged me.
Yeah, she was desperate, buddy.
She hated being married to you. She was so bored of you. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God.
Right. Like, imagine being so wanting to get out so bad you want to turn into a vampire. That's pretty...
You want to live forever, but not with this
Not with this dude. No. Specifically away from this dude. Yikes, my dude. Yikes.
And he has a stake, right?
Yeah.
But Damon doesn't give a fuck. He wants to die, but not by this man.
Right.
And so he stabs him in the lung and is just like, well, I'm going to get a drink and I'm going to watch you die.
Yeah. Cool. Just a fun evening for the whole family, you know?
It's just going to be a nice piece of entertainment for the whole family.
Yeah.
And he dies.
Yeah. Rip.
And then he goes away.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta go smoke a blunt or something. I don't know.
I gotta do hot guy shit.
Yeah, I gotta go rev my car or something.
Yeah.
And Stefan comes in and is like kneeling over Rick's body, being like, damn, dude, I didn't like you, but like, sorry about my brother or whatever the fuck.
Probably didn't have to die for it, but you know.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And Rick just like wakes up.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
And that's awkward.
Yeah, yikes. He has no lung.
I mean, I know you can breathe on one lung, but like it's not great.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gotta get some sort of defibrillator situation, you know.
Right. And he's not a vampire, and Stefan's like, what the fuck? If you're not a vampire, then how are you alive right now?
Yeah.
And it's the magic decoder ring that Isabel gave him.
God damn.
That she found at the bottom of a cereal box.
Funny
that
how
we
that,
thought,
yeah.
Because he said it was a family heirloom.
Right.
But that was just a funny joke that Isabel said.
Right.
So apparently it's got magical fucking immunity powers in it.
Why not, right? Why not?
Sure.
Sure.
Because that's allowed.
Cool.
What? I guess since we're just fucking making up rules.
Right. We're just adding new gizmos and gadgets.
Right.
To the story.
Apparently you can have invincible rings. That would have been nice last episode for Grams.
Yeah.
But now we're going to use it on Rick, of all people.
Right. You would think the people that do magic in the show would have knowledge and access to immortality devices.
Can we make a couple more?
Can we mine a couple more? Like, y'all got Vervain out the fucking ass right now. I feel like these rings are less conspicuous, right? And probably
it still looked like a Jostin's ring. Like, it's
right.
Not, it's
yeah,
not
it's a little, but like put that on a necklace, put it on your shirt. You know what I mean? Like, if it works that way,
right.
Like there's something here.
Right. I mean, it comparably, right? It's less conspicuous than your eyes turning black and having black veins.
Right. Right.
So
on the scale, yeah, just the relative scale.
Yeah, true. But yeah, but if we could make a couple more,
that'd be so sick. I don't know if this.
Dope.
I don't know what the manufacturing is like over there. If y'all got connects, but seems pretty useful.
That'd be great. Actually. Why are we using this on Rick of all people?
Yeah.
God. I'm boring choice.
Yeah. So frustrating. It's like, okay, ooh, what's he gonna do now? Ooh, I'm so excited and
for
intrigued.
Another woman. Put another historical artifact on a dirty table.
Right. Just spit on it.
Yeah. Jeez.
Good lord.
But yeah, so we end this episode. Harper, the Civil War vampire, is in the forest in a house.
Yeah.
With the other vampires. Mm-hmm. Damon's who knows where.
Yeah.
Doesn't realize that Rick is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie Jeremy, MIA.
Yeah.
And now Elena has the phone number and voice of Isabel to confirm that she's still, alive, right?
Right.
Like a vampire.
Yeah. Walking amongst the people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That she's somewhere.
Yeah, and she does a swift hang up. She's like, I thought you were Rick. Fuck out of here.
I didn't think that was gonna work, but oops.
Right, yeah.
It worked. So, yikes. Next week, though, we have There Goes the Neighborhood.
Bum, bum, bum.
How does this promo photo make you feel?
Well, it looks like there's going to be a bit of a, what's his face, Harper and Elena crossover. Or another vampire from the crypt, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's a screen, or it's a, text message on this beautiful BlackBerry.
I miss it so
that
much.
man over there just called me Catherine. And who else would call her Catherine? Besides Damon and Stefan, who know who Catherine is. It has to be a man.
That's so awkward.
Yeah, right?
Do you ever think when they're, like, doing it that Stefan accidentally does that? That's gotta be hella awkward.
Yeah, that's awkward. That's, yikes.
I feel like we're probably gonna see that at some point in this show, and it's gonna be major yikes.
Yeah, major yikes, but uh-oh. That's not good.
But I can't wait to see when it happens, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
We have some amazing patrons. Do you want to start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to Sean Salvatore. Ooh.
Ooh. Thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Meow. Thank you to Katya Karp.
Ooh. Thank you to Ashlyn Vogel.
Pew, pew, pew. Thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Ooh. Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Ooh. Thank you to Danielle Burke.
Ooh. Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Pew, pew. Thank you to Dan Zeklos.
Ooh. And thank you to Emily Ozera.
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow. I have a fan fiction for you.
Hell yeah. Lay it on me.
It is from the author Hoshi _of_the_C.
God.
It is titled
Yes.
From Dusk. And this was published, as we're recording this, 2 days ago.
Fuck. So hot off the press.
Very hot off the presses. This is not the summary, this is the author's note. Because the summary is a spoiler of what I'll be reading. The author's note is, I'm here to haunt this tag and annoy everyone with Bella Carlisle brain rot.
Oh my god.
This is more self-indulgent. I just wanted to write a goth Bella with Carlisle on his knees.
Oh god.
And this is one chapter. Okay. So. She breathed and looked into Carlisle's eyes. Have your eyes always been black? I swore they were gold. Contact lenses, he replied flatly. That's the same bullshit Edward told me, she replied. Look me in the eyes, Carlisle. Carlisle was adamant on washing the soap off her finger. He refused to even turn his head. Carlisle. Isabella softly, her other hand, climbing to the collar of his blue dress shirt. Look at me, please. She met his harsh gaze. Carlisle finally let go of her clean hand. He knew how his eyes looked to her, dark and hungry. He expected fear from the girl. Kiss me. Carlisle roved his gaze around the girl's face. Her chocolate eyes, framed by dark eyelashes, were dilated. Full red lips parted and ripe for the taking. Her high cheekbones flushed with arousal. He'd seen a lot of beautiful women for the past 300 years, and not one made him feel like falling to his knees and gasping for air. I'm old, he murmured. I cannot take advantage of you like that. How old are you? Don't lie to me. 23, he swallowed. Will you still be 23 in 5 years? Yes. She stood on her tippy toes, her lips mere inches to his. Carlisle's own mouth parted for her, tasting her breath and shuddering. He gripped the sink. Kiss me, or I will. End scene.
Okay. Interesting.
So that is some very hot off the presses.
Yeah, breaking news.
some breaking content for you all of just a I don't know that I'd say a short fan fiction, but
Sure.
Just a nice fresh piece.
Yeah.
In the Twilight fan fiction catalog.
I do appreciate too that this is a new one, because there's something about the every like underscore after every word that just feels so early fan fiction and early internet to me, that I appreciate that this person's either still chucking along with it or has this username recently, which is also very good. Keep that spirit alive, baby. They
have 52 works.
Hell yeah.
So either they've been at this for, well, they've been at this since 2019. So I would say a fair amount of time.
Yeah, all right. Go off.
But I agree. I think for me that really harkens back to like the early aughts.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Something about that, or like a username and then the numbers next to it, is beautiful. So please enjoy. Tell your friends about the show. Go read or listen to the Variety article.
Yes.
That's your homework for this week.
Hell yeah.
And doctors and also weed experts, you have homework as well of sending your knowledge to us.
Hell yeah.
So that might overlap for some of you.
Sure.
And as we say here in the Pacific Northwest,
get bit.
Ooh.
Ow.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media, audio for everyone.